Hello, everyone. I'm glad to have you all here for this session. Today, in this session, I'll share my insights on how any organization's generative AI execution strategy can be defined, where you need to have a right balance between risks and success factors. About me, I'm Monica Kothari, an IT professional over 20 years of experience. While I worked with companies like Amazon, Yahoo, and Informatica, I'm also an artist and founder of Dare to Express. And as far as this session is concerned, I bring expertise from developing AI products at Amazon, also being an active member in GenAI communities and conferences, brainstorming challenges and solutions with leaders and researchers, and also my current consulting experience with a couple of organizations who are venturing into GenAI space. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. So, in today's session, we will talk about the executive dilemma, which many organizations are facing, and also some recommendation and a reality check about Gen AI landscape. We'll also get into a 30,000 view of the executive strategy and then dive into some ground level details of how one can implement it, highlighting specifically three key areas. I will conclude with how you can think about a long-term plan or and also share some success guidelines. Um, Also, before we start, a disclaimer here that this session is not about execution level details in every area, but do share which topics you would like to delve into specifically in details, and I will do a follow-up session on the same. Okay, so this is the number one question that every executive leader is meddling with in all of my consultations. Should we dive in or should we wait out till all of this Gen AI frenzy settles down? It's all happening so fast. The technology is changing every single minute. Business implications are unclear and ever evolving. And yet the pressure from the boardrooms and shareholders with the fear of missing out is still building up. Everyone wants answers and rapid results, but they're equally worried about the GenAI hallucinations or the privacy, legal, security, performance issues, which can impact their brand value and customers. And here's what I recommend. The earlier you jump in, the better you are prepared. The most important thing to ride this wave is about having a flexibility to adapt, be it your systems, processes, people, businesses, architecture, everything that you're doing today. But here's a reality check as well. Gen AI is very approachable from an end user perspective, but building and operating the Gen AI models and applications is not. Only 10 to 12% of companies are mastering the data and AI game today. A massive 90% still have a significant ground to cover. And one of the major questions that every CEO or CDO is trying to answer is what should be my strategy to ride this wave successfully? So here's my take. See, strategy can be at many levels, but here's what it can look like from a 30,000 feet view. And I call it three E's: experience, experiment, and expand. You could be a startup or a small business who is relying on large players for readily available models, and focusing on your business use case rather than innovating, let's say, at the model layer. Obviously, because you have limited resources. Or on the other end of the spectrum, you could be an enterprise who is building their own LLMs or integrating GenAI to build new advanced features with your own data sciences labs, investing in your own GPUs. But whoever you are, at a very high level, this strategy will still work for you. Firstly, Experience the impact of this technology in your business landscape by identifying the low risk and high win use cases for products and processes internally. Yes, don't aim for customer success right away. Secondly, experiment with Gen AI technology early on these low risk use cases and identify the risks. Risks with data sets, your existing process capabilities, your team's skill sets, people parts, infrastructure needs, um, security, privacy, a lot of these responsible AI side of the things. Thirdly, when you have these quick wins with experimentation, expand upon your wins and leverage on the confidence which you have built now with your stakeholders, leaders, employees, partners to work upon a long term strategy for external requirements of customer success. But Monica, all this is great from a theoretical point of view. Can you tell us how do we implement this at the ground level? This is a follow up question which always comes up. Okay, so let's dive in. See, there can be many things you can do, but I am emphasizing three key areas which could help you build the foundations and confidence effectively. And these are first, focusing on the productivity gains, second, leveraging your partners, and third, creating a hack space for your organization. Let's get into details of each of these. Productivity gains is the first key focus area. So, do you know if your developers today are leveraging GenAI tools like GitHub Copilot or Code Whisperer from Amazon for writing and defining code? Or let's say, are your marketing or legal teams utilizing ChatGPT for drafting and proofreading their documents? Or maybe, let's say, project managers are trying to automate some workflows in their day to day process. Using all of these tools can easily increase employee productivity by 25 to 30% today. So why not start with them? They are low hanging fruits after all. Secondly, to succeed, you will need to have an objective assessment of your current in house capabilities for gathering and preparing data, for training and deploying the underlying GenAI models, and for building the GenAI enhancements to your existing applications and workflows. And for all of that, understanding what is already happening within your organization and encouraging the productivity gains will help you assess your internal GenAI readiness and also categorize your opportunities into different buckets. For example, do it for me, do it yourself, do it with me initiatives. What does it really mean? So, in a very layman language, right, it would simply mean that you analyze analyze if your company is prepared to bake your own GenAI cake from individual ingredients, like data, algorithms, and GPUs, or make a cake with store-bought cake mix and icing, which could be cloud service providers and managed models in our GenAI case. Or let's say buy the cake completely from a local bakery, which would be your Gen Native and Gen Enhanced SaaS offerings, which are available today in the market. Second key area which you can focus is leveraging partners. In the exploratory initial stages, it's a very good idea to utilize an initial buy over build approach. What would that do? Reusability, of course, which brings speed of execution. It'll help you achieve additional quick wins by understanding and leveraging what your established partners are already doing. And who are these partners that I'm talking about? You might have partners today, including cloud service providers like Amazon AWS or Google Cloud or Microsoft Azure, who already have GenAI offerings in terms of secure and compliant platforms for effective building of the GenAI applications. And they will, they today provide integrations with third-party models, newer models which are coming up, established models, and also there are various tools which are readily available for, let's say, responsible AI implementation, which can enable you to, think about biases and hallucinations and tackle these early on, right? The second partners could also be software application builders like Atlassian, ServiceNow, Smartsheets, and you wouldn't have probably thought about it, but these are the tools or products which you might already have, which might already have been used in your company today, right? And your employees might already be using these products, and they might be quite familiar with the workflows context, and you might be sharing the data today with these application builders. So if they have already integrated their products with GenAI, it'll help you to, partner with them or see how they are actually doing these things and learn from them. Thirdly, let's say companies working on solutions at data layer like Snowflake or Databricks. And these are the companies which provide deeper GenAI effective solutions at the data layer, which is one of the key layers for any AI ML based lifecycle products. So, and which you need not invest on and you could really use directly. So overall, if I say these partners have better access to emerging technologies and skill sets and are rapidly enhancing their offerings with the GenAI stack, which you can utilize directly for faster experimentation and results. So why not do that? Um, Third thing is GenAI Hackspace. So though we start initially with increasing our internal productivity and creativity, but end of the day, it's all about business and money making, right? The most important thing which you'll have to think about is how you are going to transform your business to serve your external customers. To support this, in my experience, what has worked best is creating an effective strategy uh, and culture for discovery and innovation, which I call it as GenAI Hackspace. And there are only two ingredients for success here: bias for action and an experimental mindset. And by the way, this is not entirely a new concept. Your organization would have already been doing it in other areas. But this becomes much more important in the current GenAI landscape that we have. What can you do here? A couple of things. You can definitely organize hackathons that allows your key people, your employees, to come up with new ideas where they learn by doing. We have to upskill. We all know this. You can have a designated senior executive to be a GenAI cross-functional leader who is responsible for leading experimentation efforts and developing a GenAI strategic plan. You could also set up a GenAI innovation lab, which is positioned as an opportunity for the doers, where they can experiment on different ideas in a very secure and compliant way with some rules and guardrails, of course. Easiest areas to experiment can be CSR chat applications or, let's say, text search capabilities. And another thing which can be encouraged in the lab is to partner with compelling startups who are building more generative applications in sectors like writing, coding, image, video creation, and things like those. So I can give you some example, like companies like Jasper or Copy, Hyperwrite, and of course OpenAI's ChatGPT are natively supporting a wide variety of writing use cases. In the legal domain, there is Lexion and Harvey, who are working on automating their legal procedures and working on specifically drafting and managing documents, easier proofreading of documents, and things like those. At the SDLC layer, there are many companies which are working on model testing and deployment, like OctoML and Mosaic. Basically, the idea would be to focus on innovation and experimentation as much as possible in this particular phase. Okay, so now that we understood few focus areas on experimentation, here are a few tips for moving towards a long-term vision and plan. See, the many co-pilot and software partner quick wins that we spoke about earlier will unlock the insights into new external and internal opportunities. You will probably have insights by now about your business and GenAI integrations, and you can brainstorm more now on wider questions like this. You could ask, Where can you deliver more automation, personalization, and ultimately like cost savings in areas like customer fulfillment or customer success? You could think about the data side of the things where do you have any proprietary data or an understanding of a public data sources that can help you build differentiated Gen AI models and offerings? On your own product side, you can think about is there a better system which is enhanced by Gen AI for designing the next iterations of your products and services? There's loads that can be brainstormed after that phase. Also, one thing would have had happened is your Kickwins will likely identify internal champions with the skills and the passion to take your Gen AI transformation to the next level. Cultivating these Gen AI champions and involving them in your long term initiatives will sustainably improve your prospects for success. Without people and their skill set, no business survives. And also, in my experience so far, most companies benefit from a mix of do it yourself and do it with me partnering approaches that we spoke about earlier. So, this would help you to leverage the whole GenAI stack in a better way to meet your customer facing and also employee engagement needs. Okay, let's talk about a few more guidelines for increased success in this overall process before we conclude. So, the first thing is design from data up. Very, very key. And also differentiate at the application layer and the infrastructure layer. Um, you will likely be leveraging other open source and managed models, both LLMs and let's say domain specific models, and most importantly, cloud infrastructure. So, how would you differentiate yourself? So, it is the most important thing is going to be your data and workflows that will help you customize these models and applications, and it will create a distinct value. So, right from the start, this segregation done at the design level, at the thought process level, will really help you to adapt to the ever changing tech space easily. Secondly, always invest in understanding your data and metadata assets. And it's very important to strategically manage them for their long term value. Basically, what it would mean is you will likely need to upgrade your underlying data stores, such as data warehouses or database types that you use, and to eventually build your own language models that can leverage the proprietary data and insights. While this process continues, you might also come across data leakage and data spillage issues or challenges, which are very, very important to address. Third is you can embrace a mix of Gen native innovator and Gen enhanced technology partners, like we spoke earlier, to support your Gen AI journey. This would help you increase productivity and creativity while improving the customer experience and value. All right. As we conclude, I want to thank you all for listening to me patiently. Um, This was definitely a very quick effort to bring down whatever thoughts I have learned so far on the executive strategy side of the things and put it out in a session. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, Before we wrap up, I am also sharing some invaluable resources that I came across that helped me shape my journey, particularly during the collaborative efforts that I did in crafting GenAI strategies for few organizations. So feel free to take a look at those. And I'm looking forward to create more sessions later on, which would dive deep into challenges while building the AI models, the data side of the things, and other challenges that I've come across on my day-to-day consulting experience. If you have any further questions, do reach out on LinkedIn or you can email me too. I will be able to respond. And thank you once again, and have a good day.